Christmas.
The South Today Bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, a Taieri campsite serves an eviction notice to residents, leaving many without a place to go. A former Dunedin smoker airs frustrations with the new government around plans to repeal anti-smoking laws. And Toitu Museum dusts off some miniature Christmas pixies who've brought joy to residents for decades. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. The battle continues in Dunedin as a group of long-term camping ground residents have been left without a place to call home after being served with a 24-hour eviction notice. The Otago Taieri AMP Society is being described as callous and intimidating, with one resident pleading his case to stay where he's lived for the past decade.
This once bustling campsite in Mosgiel has been reduced to just a couple of people who've been left with nowhere to go. Last week, the Otago Taieri AMP Society issued residents with a final eviction notice, giving them just 24 hours to vacate the showground camping area. The society says it's issued the notice after looking into the legality of their campsite and discovering they had no resource consent from the Dunedin City Council. But some residents believe the AMP Society used bullying tactics, sending police over on the day of the eviction to issue trespass notices.
No one wants to stay here. To be honest, what was a really lovely place to be has been poisoned.
Craig Reeves has lived at the showgrounds for 10 years. He says he'd leave if he could, but isn't able to drive his bus off the site due to medical reasons. He's frustrated by the lack of communication from the society, with Taieri Labour MP Ingrid Leary trying to assist those who have been evicted.
So I'm just hoping that we can buy a little bit more time, unravel what's going on, and then find a way forward that is not going to be so completely and utterly stressful for the people who've been here.
Leary believes the AMP Society needs to work with the City Council to find a long-term solution for the problem, organising a meeting with all parties to discuss some urgent action. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A drug dealer who fatally mowed down a Dunedin man over a small debt last year near a suburban park has been sentenced today. Lance Moore was jailed for 4 years and 1 month when he appeared before the High Court at Dunedin on Monday. The 36-year-old previously pled guilty to manslaughter of 28-year-old Sean Bewis. Moore ran the victim over while behind the wheel of a borrowed red Ford Falcon car last July over a $350 drug debt. Moore had supplied methamphetamine to a friend of Mr Bewis, but she claimed he took more than agreed. She arranged with others to set up a trap to meet Bewis at Unity Park in Mornington to settle the debt. Moore was last to arrive and heard gunshots from the victim's BB gun. He saw Bewis running out of the bushes and drove directly at him, but the victim tripped and was dragged for more than 4 metres up the road by a vehicle, dying at the scene.
We just hope that although the judgment's been passed, that this will allow the family to begin to heal.
Justice Eaton said Moore's actions highlighted a history littered with vehicle crime and associated violence. A former Dunedin smoker is urging people to listen to the doctors after the new government announced plans to repeal anti-smoking laws. Mosgiel resident Bill Overton says he used to smoke 3 packs a day until a grave warning from his doctor.
81-year-old Bill Overton isn't proud of being a former smoker and is upset with plans by the coalition government to repeal anti-smoking laws. The Mosgiel man says he smoked more than 70 cigarettes a day when he was 35, until his doctor warned him he'd be dead within a year if he didn't stop. Overton's convinced he wouldn't have survived as long if he'd continued the habit, which he picked up at the age of 14.
You know, and I used to cough like bloody hell, and I still carried on smoking.
Overton's thankful to the doctors who helped him overcome significant lung damage caused by all the smoking, but feels sorry to see their warnings ignored by others.
They don't tell you these things for nothing, and I bet you a lot of them have been told to quit, but they carry on. And that annoys me, because they tell it only for the good of yourself, you know.
The government's defended its plans and says it will continue to discourage smoking, but believe a ban would only stoke the black market and lead to increased crime. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A mouse, a few alley cats and Santa Claus visited Queenstown over the weekend, entertaining thousands of residents at the region's popular festive show.
Queenstown residents welcoming in the guest of honour. Around 2,500 Central Otago residents got a big shot of the festive spirit on Sunday as the annual Queenstown Christmas show took centre stage in Frankton.
Who's ready for the Christmas show?
The show is a popular fixture on the local calendar. A 60-strong cast entertained audiences across 2 sold-out shows of Not a Creature Was Stirring, Not Even a Mouse at the Queenstown Event Centre. The show's story followed Murray the Mouse on his adventure to visit Santa in the North Pole, meeting an array of characters along the way. Regular act The Remarkable Men's Ballet ditched their tutus for cat ears this year, with other acts taking the stage including gymnastics silk performers and children singing Christmas carols. The popular show's organised by the Queenstown Lakes District Council, with audiences encouraged to bring gifts to donate to children across the Wakatipu to help them have a Merry Christmas. In Queenstown, the South Today.
And with the Christmas season well underway, Toitu Otago Settlers Museum has opened its much-loved and sometimes loathed annual festive display. The Pixie Town collection may be growing old and withered, but it's still proving popular, with some loyal fans enjoying a fresh look at the mechanical displays.
It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but these pint-sized pixies have become part of the Christmas season in Dunedin. The Toitu Otago Settlers Museum has opened its Pixie Town exhibition again for the year, featuring 8 of their 13 old-school mechanical displays. These tiny pixies were made in the early 1900s, and while few have any real festive theme, families and children of this generation still make it a must-see on their holiday list.
Christmas time tradition for a lot of people to come and do that, you know, have your photo taken with Santa, see the pixies, and we've created a whole new generation of people that do just that.
The display first visited Dunedin in the 50s. It formed a part of Santa's grotto at the DIC department store every Christmas before the business shut down. One loyal fan was over the moon when the pixies made a return to Dunedin as the annual museum display in 2004, allowing her to relive the feeling she had as a 5-year-old girl.
Wow! It was so nice. Crazy.
The 75-year-old says she comes and visits the display every year and is still impressed with how well the intricate mechanics of the pixies are still standing the test of time. The Pixie Town display is set to bring joy to young and old in Dunedin right up to the big day, with the area open daily to the public at Toitu through until Christmas Eve. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Yakane, still to come on the South Today. 2 Wanaka snow sport athletes swap out summer for a Northern Hemisphere winter of racing. And as we count down the days of Christmas, we look back at some of the big news stories from April.
Great Britain has a collection of varied landscapes and countryside to rival anywhere else in the world. And the best way to see it is to walk.
Such a sweet girl. What are you dreaming about?
Just music.
The Power of Dreams by Honda.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Here at Aged Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at agedconcernotago.com.
Earth is a planet of extremes. Extreme places and extreme animals. But some animals are more extreme than others. Join us as we count down to find the most unusual, the most extraordinary, the most extreme.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Two young Central Otago snow sports athletes are starring on the world stage as both prepare for a Northern Hemisphere winter a long way from home.
Wanaka star snowboarder Zoe Sadowski-Sinnott continued her dominance in the sport, claiming the win at the FIS Snowboard Big Air World Cup in Canada on Sunday. The 22-year-old was runner-up in 2022, but qualified top in this year's finals, almost 20 points ahead of her nearest competitor. Sadowski-Sinnott had an uncharacteristic fall during her first run, but calmly stomped a switch backside 1260 with a tail grab in her second run, earning her an impressive score of 97.25 from the judges. And she wasn't the only Central Otago resident on the podium over the weekend. 15-year-old Luke Harold claimed a silver medal at the FIS Free Ski Halfpipe World Cup in China on Saturday. It was the Lake Hawea athlete's debut on the world stage, and he impressed judges with the rarely seen switch alley-oop double cork 900s. But there's no time for rest for the pair. Both are set to be back in action next week in Colorado at the Copper Mountain World Cup. From the slopes, the South Today.
And now continuing with our look back at the year in review. Well, April saw the Labor government backtrack on some of its policies and plans under new leader Chris Hipkins. Anzac Day was commemorated across the South and several festivals were held for autumn.
April saw Labour Minister Kieran McAnulty revealing a reset to the government's controversial Three Waters legislation after many months of protest. The policy was rebranded as Affordable Water Reforms, one of a raft of changes under new Prime Minister Chris Hipkins. Health Minister Aisha Verrill visited Dunedin to announce a partial U-turn on the government's plans to cut back on design costs for the city's new hospital.
Our focus is on making sure that the building can deliver the clinical services we all want for Dunedin.
Anzac Day commemorations were held in cities and towns across the south, with young and old paying respects to the fallen soldiers of World War I and II. Thousands of Queenstown residents gathered at the War Memorial to mark the 108th anniversary of the Gallipoli landings, many more in Dunedin, standing shoulder to shoulder for the first time since the COVID-19 outbreak.
Take the time to stop and read the names on the war memorials. Think about what they endured.
Invercargill saw time turn back half a century for the inaugural George Bigg Motorsport Festival, crowds enjoying a series of races and events over 3 days. And in Central Otago, more than 20,000 people from across the country were treated to a wide variety of vehicles of all shapes and sizes for the biennial Wheels at Wanaka event.
We've got a tractor, truck and steam engine pool competition happening, the first of its kind in New Zealand.
In Invercargill, a procession of colourful classic minis celebrated the end of a marathon journey, the popular event paying tribute to the route taken in classic Kiwi film Goodbye Pork Pie. The small Banks Peninsula town of Little River swelled as 2,000 visitors were attracted by a big pumpkin festival with examples of all shapes and sizes on display. While in Arrowtown, more than 10,000 people explored the historic gold mining town, celebrating the annual Autumn Festival. And in Dunedin, classic pop rock fans from across the country partied at Forsyth Bar Stadium as rock star Sir Rod Stewart performed a concert alongside with Grammy Award-winning singer Cyndi Lauper. Across the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The Otago Taieri A&P Society is under fire after serving its campsite residents a 24-hour eviction notice. Mosgiel man Bill Overton is urging people to listen to doctors, criticising plans to repeal anti-smoking laws. And Toitu Otago Settlers Museum has brought its mechanical pixie town friends out of storage just in time for the festive season. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. We welcome Associate Editor Mike Houlihan. Hello Mike.
Evening Hannah.
What can we expect for our Tuesday paper?
Well, you'll see a follow-up to that story you just had there about the camping ground in Taieri. There was a meeting between all involved today, so we'll find out what the outcome of that was. Okay. We'll also have a rundown of events in court today involving the death of Sean Bewis a year ago, and that had its finale in court today. We have got an update on the University of Otago's finances. This tale of a possum that was going rogue on the peninsula, which has finally been dealt with. Nice. Our sports section's got a preview of the White Ferns playing Pakistan tomorrow in Queenstown. And our travel section, our travel writer's gone to Edinburgh this week.
Stunning. Lovely. We look forward to reading. Thank you for sharing, Mike.
Thank you.
Time now for a look at your weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, a strong southwesterly airflow will blow over the South Island most of this week, bringing showers and strong winds to the south coast, but mostly fine weather inland. Heading to the top of the South Island, Nelson's looking clear and sunny tomorrow with fresh winds and 20 degrees. Greymouth is fine with 18, while Christchurch gets southwesterlies and some rain with a 14-degree high. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. It'll be a wet day through here with rain and 14-degree highs in both Ashburton and Timaru, with a strong southwesterly and showers settling into Oamaru for most of the day, along with a cooler high of 13 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, and a windy day ahead through these parts tomorrow. Expect 15 in Queenstown and a gusty 16 degrees in both Wanaka and Alexandra. Heading further south, the strong southwesterlies continue through here and the showers are back too. Temperature-wise, expect 13 in Gore and Balclutha and just 12 degrees in the Catlins. Across to Invercargill, windy and cloudy tonight with an 8-degree low. The next 2 days will be a mix of sunshine, cloud and strong southwesterlies with a high of 12 degrees tomorrow, followed by 14 on Wednesday. And finally heading to Dunedin, windy and showery in the city tonight with a 10-degree low. Tomorrow's cloudy with showers, 13 degrees and strong southwest winds. Then Wednesday brings more of the same. The showers should clear across the morning, but it will stay cloudy and windy with a high of 16 degrees. And that's the news this Monday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, or follow us on Facebook. Just search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite a pōpō.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.
The South Today Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.